What's up, you guys? It's Tia here, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about 10 power moves that every teenager should make. Sure, this can also apply to like early 20s, but I do think that most of these are things that you should at least attempt to get done in your teen years. And yes, some of them are more for like older teens. If you're 13 years old, pretty sure there are at least some things on this list that you probably can't do. But if you're like 17, 18, 19, 16, you probably do a lot of these things. So let's just get into it. All right, so the first thing is to start a business of some kind. I'm coming in strong here, you guys. Not all of them are this big or this hard. When I say start a business of some kind, I'm not talking about going out and setting up, like getting a retail spot downtown or some mess. I'm talking about like an online business, at least in most cases, because that's so accessible for so many teenagers. I mean, we're all on the internet like about 24/7, always got our phone in hand. Most of us, not most of us, but a lot of us can't drive. So like online really is the best option. And a business takes a lot of forms, really. It can be a blog, like of course, when I say like a business should be generating revenue, money for you at some point. So some of these things, of course, some businesses, just depending on which business you go with, it's not going to be making you profit at the beginning, because that's just how some businesses work. It's how a lot of businesses work. But like at least starting that business, and hopefully when you start it, you will be making some profit in your teens as well. Like a blog, you don't have too much immediate like revenue, but hopefully one day you will. Etsy, that's it, like an Etsy shop. It's kind of like Amazon, but everything on there is handmade. I feel like it's more youth friendly because it's handmade stuff, and I feel like when you're younger, you do make a lot of stuff yourself because you don't have that much money. At least I did. You can also, if there are things that you have that you can sell, I guess, on Amazon, it's get up there and sell some stuff on Amazon. And I'm not saying just like to list it and make it look like, make your storefront look kind of dumpy, like it look unprofessional, where like the pictures are dark, you don't even have like really like a name for your business. It's just there. I'm talking about like really putting in some time to make it look nice and make it something that you're proud of, so that when you get like hired in the future by employers, you can literally use your shop in your like portfolio. You can reference back to like this business that you have, and it'll make you look really professional, and it just looks great, because owning a business requires so many skills. So if that's Amazon, Etsy, you have a bunch of old clothes. You could try to start like a thriving Poshmark or Depop. It's not just kind of like a one and done kind of thing. It's something that you are working on over time. So you would go to the thrift store and you would really look, find a few more decent pieces of clothing, and then you go back to your Poshmark shop and put some more stuff in there. It takes some work, but you're at home, you have time. Now is honestly the time to start a business, because once you're like in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, if you don't already have like a business of your own, you're gonna be working for another business, okay? And then something happens, or you're rich, something like that, you're gonna be working for another business in most cases, and you're not really gonna be having time to work on your own. Or if you do have time, you're not gonna have as much as you do now. So take advantage of this time you have now. If there's any business you can make, look more into it. There's Society6, Redbubble for graphic design. Like I said, you can make a blog. There's so many, like there's Wix, there's WordPress, Weebly. There's a lot of things you can use to like make a little business for yourself. The second one is more, especially for older teens. I'm not gonna say you have to be like 18, but I do know in a lot of cases you do, to invest. And I say that here now. I am 17, but I'll be 18 at the end of this month, and I'm planning to invest as soon as I turn 18. There are ways to invest before you turn 18. I'm pretty sure like through Cash App, I believe there is a way to invest, but don't quote me on that. I'm gonna look more into that. From what I heard from another YouTube, Ali Abdul, investing in index funds through Vanguard, which is like a website that you can use, and it's a lot lower. I want to say it does seem to be lower risk than some other investments like stocks. And why invest? It's basically a better way of saving. And if you look into more videos, I'm sure you'll hear that again. But when you put it into, like when you invest, you get money back gradually over time. And I know like you've heard of stock market crashes, and that seems scary. Honestly, it seems scary to me, but historically the stock market has always gone up. As long as you can wait out a crash, it'll start going up again, and you are bound to make money if you are willing to leave your investments in there for 10, 20, 30 years. Don't be impatient. leave that mess in there and wait for it to accumulate. It's a better way of saving because when you put it in a saving account, most of the time it just sits there and nothing happens to it. It doesn't turn into any more money. Maybe you have a small bit of interest, but that interest is so small. At least with an investment, you know you're gonna be making some more money. You don't know how much more you're gonna be making, but it can be quite large depending on like who you invested in and what you invested with. I'm gonna do a little description of index funds. I'm still learning about all this, so I don't want to give you any wrong information. Index funds are investments made up of stocks that mirror the companies in performance of a market index, such as the S&P 500. Index funds are passively managed and have lower fees than actively managed funds and often generate higher investment returns. That is by nerdwallet.com, that description. So index funds, I would suggest looking more into it because it seems like this kind of like the safest way to go at when you're first getting into investing. Number 3 is to get a debit card and then a credit card. Once again, I'm speaking before I've even done the latter. I have not got a credit card because I want to wait until I turn 18. The day I turn 18, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna put on that application. I want to get a credit card through PayPal, and I've been looking at some other ones. Honestly, I'd be fine with sticking with one, but I would be okay with getting 2 or 3 depending on who I get it through, because with credit cards you do get cash back. I know Amazon has a credit card, Cash App has a credit card. A lot of like these money businesses have credit cards that you can get and you get cash back. I think even like Target has a credit card and you get cash back with like the purchases you make. And I know if you don't know the difference between the two, this isn't really the video to teach you all that stuff, but debit cards is the money that you already have that's in your checking account. So you have to take it out from the saving account that you have, or don't take it out, but like don't put your money in your saving account. If you want to spend it on your debit card, it needs to be in your checking account. Once again, this is not the video to be teaching you all about personal finance, but roughly a debit card is something you already have. You don't have to pay anything back. You can let it sit there. You don't have to do anything. With a credit card, you have to pay back whatever you spend. You have to like pay back a certain, it's complicated. It depends all on which credit card you get. Like, there are normally percentages, and you don't lose any money. Like, there's no risk with it unless you don't pay back what you've spent in time. So like, never spend more than what you have. Never spend more than what you have, okay? Like, that's to be a pretty general rule of thumb. That's why loans exist if you don't have the money. But with credit cards, only use it if you actually have the money, and so that you know for sure that you're going to be able to pay it back before the end of the month. And credit cards are just great because they build your credit score, so that when you do have to buy stuff like cars, houses, any big thing, you'll need to have a good credit score. And you can learn more about that in other spots, but I'm sure you've seen like some of those commercials like Credit Karma and stuff. Like, you really need to have a good credit score, and why not get started in your teen years? And of course, a debit card is just good because it's independence, first of all, and you don't have all that cash on you. Cash can be lost. It's happened before to me. It probably happened to all of y'all. And also, like, I don't know, there's something about cash where it's just kids are the ones that carry nothing but cash. Once you get to a certain age, it really is smart for you to start using a debit card because it's just a lot more practical. You can carry it around. You have to worry about getting your purse stolen or whatever, because you can get it back from like your credit union or your debit card provider in most cases. And let's be real, at some point you're gonna be making, well, that goes into my next tip, which is to get at least one job. But you're gonna be making like a certain amount, and having all that money in cash is not smart. In most cases, your job provider is not going to be paying you in cash. So if it's in your checking account, you're going to need a debit card to get the money out of your checking account, you know? And I know I said the next tip is to get at least one job, which, yes, that is really big. I think every teenager should get a job. But more specifically, I wanted to say like a power move is to get at least one online job. And I know that sounds really just intimidating. It sounds like something that an adult would do, like working from home, but and online, when I say at least one, I literally mean just at least one. You can still have your in-person job if you want to have like that social element and go out to like a restaurant and work there. But I would say to at least have one online job at some point, if that just means like being hired by a client to write an article. I suggest like a lot of the like online freelancing spots, but then there's also Google and there's LinkedIn. Lots of places where you could find a job, especially if you are willing to get paid at a low rate because it's pretty competitive out here. I've had like at least 5 different online jobs. I'm currently with one right now that, and it's really nice. It pays really well, like by the hour. I get a lot more with this job than I would with a in-person job that like most teenagers have. So that is just really nice for me. And I don't have to work that many hours per week. I feel like tops I work like maybe 7 hours, and that's really nice. So I can focus on my studies. And an online job is there's something so independent about it. You don't have to rely on your parents to get you to and from work. You get paid more in a lot of situations. You can develop skills that you wouldn't be able to develop in a physical setting. So yes, definitely look for an online job. If you can get one and tell people that you have one, everybody's always impressed, and it never hurts to impress people. So the next tip is learn how to make at least 10 solid meals. That's honestly very, very attainable for just about anybody, because how many years are there in your teens? 7 years. So you can make 10 solid meals in those 7 years. This is now the time to make those solid meals, because once you're out on your own, living by yourself, you're going to be wishing that you at least knew how to cook, okay? You don't want to be eating out every day, door dashing, Postmating, Uber eating every day. You want to know how to make some stuff, because eating out is expensive, you guys. And not only is making food yourself a lot cheaper, but it's just, like I said, there's something really independent about it. You feel good. You feel like you are, being an actual adult. You are slaying life. You're doing the darn thing. So the next thing is to learn another skill or talent. I'm saying that because I feel like a lot of people when they're in their teens are like, well, I didn't start when I was like 3 years old, so I can't start now because I'm not going to be as good as everybody else who knows this stuff already. I know that I definitely thought that way before, but honestly, it's not too late. Your brain is still pretty malleable as a teenager. It's just like the younger you are, you can learn some new things, and it'll just stick in there like that. Like it'll just stay there because your brain is still like developing. So take a new skill or talent and learn it. Just learn it. It's exciting. It's something new, and you're taking kind of control over the hobbies, the skill set that you develop for yourself. Because in most cases, parents are the ones that put you in these situations when you're really young so that you can learn these skills and these talents. But now that you're a teenager, you have control over that yourself, and you can choose what you actually want to learn. So I would just say to learn one. That is definitely a power move. And if you get really good at it, you could even like sell your talent, perform somewhere, do art, anything. The next thing is to complete a personal hands-on project. I feel like that's kind of self-explanatory. Basically just a project that you do using your hands. So it doesn't have to be construction. Like when I say construction, I mean something like building a desk, but anything, like just do it yourself, because at some point in your life, you're gonna have to do something unless you're just rolling in money and you don't want to do anything yourself. Most cases you're gonna have to build something yourself at some point in your life, like especially when you're moving into your own place and you're getting all this furniture, or just doing cute personal projects for yourself. For me, that kind of this probably is not gonna be the only hands-on project I do. I've done other things, and let's be real, that's not anything super big, but it was just something that I was able to get proud of because I did all that myself. I bought all this stuff myself, hung it up myself. Literally hanging up frames is not that hard. So that's kind of where I'm going with this too. Just any personal hands-on project that you can be proud of and that lets you get creative. The next power move is to develop some public speaking skills. It can never hurt to know how to speak in public. So if there's a course in your school that lets you do that, go ahead and take that course. Or if you just want to do it using like online courses, watching online videos, and then actually practicing speaking in front of other people, then do that. But developing some public speaking skills it's really crucial in the business world, just among adults, for you to feel comfortable sharing your ideas in front of other people, and it just makes you seem very professional and like you're not like as young as you are when you are in these adult settings. So just get some public speaking skills and you'll be better off. The next thing is to attempt to create an online/social presence. I said attempt because it's an attempt. That's what we're doing here. Even like with what I'm doing right here through YouTube, this would be me attempting to create like an online/social presence. A presence online looks like so many different things. It can be on Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, Pinterest, like I said earlier, a blog. There's so many different ways that you can get yourself out there now. There are even more ways now, like Twitch and Discord, for you to just get out there and try to like develop a bit of a following. And I know like y'all, some people out there are gonna be saying, well, why would she be telling a bunch of teenagers to do that? Some of the teenagers are already doing that, and honestly, it's a waste of time. Not everybody can be famous, but the fact of the matter is, a lot of people can be like not famous, but a lot of people can have a lot of following, because everybody can like follow each other basically. So at least try. Let's be real, there is power in numbers. So having like a social account where you have a lot of followers there's something just kind of personally powerful about it, because you know you're having an impact on these other people's lives at such a young age, and even as you get older, hopefully your following will grow, but like you'll be able to actually make some money from that presence. I just think it all seems very exciting. I think a lot of people do as well, but they just haven't tried to do it themselves, and there's really no better time to try than now. So just take advantage of some of that extra time. If you have any skills to share, a personal progress timeline that you want to share or whatever, just get out there on a platform and try. Find the one that you feel most comfortable on and see how it goes. No regrets, you guys. The last one is to teach yourself one marketable skill. And I say teach yourself, obviously you can't teach yourself, but I mean like an at-home kind of thing where you're using like online courses, about LinkedIn Learning. There are so many courses. There's Udemy, there's Skillshare. These are websites. And of course, there's always like actual people you can learn from if you are willing to like hire somebody to teach you, or you have somebody in your family who can teach you. And when I say like a marketable skill, I mean something that you can like put down on a resume like as a hard skill, which is stuff, not like something like I'm super motivated. That would be a soft skill. A hard skill is something like I know how to build a website for you. I know how to design a website. And of course, we're talking about some very complex stuff right there. This is probably before you finished your degree, since you're a teenager. So you don't really have that much knowledge. So I would definitely take advantage of some of these simpler, easier to use stuff out here that just maybe some older folks have not even tried to learn how to use. I do think that growing up the way that we have so much technology around us, it's just easy for us to pick up on some like of these websites, some of these platforms, how to build stuff. Like Weebly is super intuitive, like it's kind of like a drag and drop type thing. Wix is kind of drag and drop, but there's people out there who don't know how to use this stuff, and frankly they don't have time to, and you do have that time. So if you can teach yourself how to use this stuff, it can be really useful. Other marketing skills are like social media marketing, Pinterest marketing, like data entry. That's a big one for entry-level people. There's a lot of skills out there. I would say to like look up some and see if there's any of them that piques your interest. There's also like graphic design, which is, let's just say that's getting really big. Photo editing, photography, videography, video editing, lots of stuff. Find one you like and teach yourself it so you can have something to put on your resume, okay? So that's all 20 of them. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm trying to just keep it, I've already got longer than I meant to get, but I'm gonna try to wrap this up now. Make sure you subscribe, follow us on Instagram. This is a page, on a channel with me and my sister. And like, hit the notification bell to be notified of future videos, and I will see you guys in the next one.